and welcome back to Her Poison Pen. Today, we are going to be speaking with Nancy Canyon. She's an accomplished artist and an excellent writer. And we're going to be talking about her paranormal novel, Celia's Heaven. I know that you're going to enjoy meeting Nancy. Nancy Canyon, hi. So great to see you again. It's been like, what, I don't know, a couple of years?
I think so. It's
Yeah,
nice to see you.
it's just great to see you. And today in her poison pen, this is a lovely full moon. It's perfect for us to get together. And I'm excited to hear your thoughts on female strength and agency. And I want to show our viewers this is the book that we're going to be chatting about today in part. It's Celia's Heaven. It's an absolutely gorgeous book. I love this novel.
Thank you.
And have some personal involvement with that novel, and I feel really good about it. Um, so, Nancy, Celia's Heaven is a really shining example of women who, of a woman who found her own power against some pretty significant odds. Could you tell us about Celia's Heaven? And don't give us any spoiler alerts, okay? But tell us about Celia's Heaven. What is the plot, and what do you see as the primary theme here?
So, that's a good question. The plot is a young woman who is an exotic dancer, and she lives in a little town that is near a base. So there's a lot of GIs that come to the club where she works. She's not really respected for her job, and she loves to dance, and she has a complicated relationship with her father, and she has a boyfriend who's a policeman, and she has a lot of dancer friends, and she's just working out her feelings around some things that have happened in her life, and she wants to heal. I think she basically does want to heal herself. um, and I think it's a coming of age story, but I think there's also a identity and belonging story. So she wants to be respected and belong.
So it is extremely powerful, and some of the themes that you tackle are done with such skill. What, excuse me, what inspired this novel, and how did you meet Celia and her sister Star?
Um, I was really inspired by wanting to tell my own story of growing up in an abusive home. And I studied writing with Natalie Goldberg, and I told her what I was wanting to write, and but I was nervous about it to put that out in the world. And she said, "Write it, just write it. People will read anything," is what she said. So I tried it. I tried writing a memoir, and it was very difficult for me because I felt too shy to speak up about the story I was carrying. So then I decided to fictionalize it, and then Celia came about. And I do writing practice, and I do that, where I am not really thinking, I'm just letting the story come in. So Celia came in,
Hmm.
and there was a dance scene at the club, and I thought, oh, I like this character. She's kind of naughty and frisky, and I started just writing her in my writing practice.
What about Star, her sister?
Yes, her sister, who is on the other side in the story, she came in. There started to be little tappings in her house, tapping and little noises and things happening that she thought, you should look around, wondering what that was.
Hmm.
And so I can relate to that because I have had, since I was a child, been knowing there have been people around me, from the other side, and I felt like they were supporting me in my life and kind of watching over me. So I kind of knew what that energy was.
So Star sort of came to you while you were writing this.
Well, actually, at first, it wasn't Star, it was Mary Magdalene, because
Oh,
I thought that that worked really well with the preacher being against what Celia was, the way she was behaving to him. It was the way she was behaving in his community. But Mary Magdalene, since she was supposedly in the Bible a prostitute, and I thought, oh, that would be perfect. But then that didn't really work out. I wasn't really getting that as a specter in the story. And then I realized that, oh, Celia had a twin who was opposite of Celia. Celia is so sort of dark and tangled, like lily roots, which it says in the story. And Star was this pure and blonde and white and sort of the good one. So kind of a good versus evil in a way.
yeah. Yeah, that's a lovely scene where we come to know that there's another daughter, from the first little baby to the new daughter, that was interesting. Let's talk about the father a little bit. The preacher, his name is Ed Monroe. And when I was reading it, I thought this not only represented, this man represents organized religion, he's very self-righteous, but he's also representing ignorance and misogyny. And I was wondering, how did you view Ed? And also, was it easy or difficult to write him?
Um, I think it was both easy and difficult because it started off being ooh, this I don't really like this character very much. And I know from some of the teachers I've had that learning to love your characters is really important because then even with the bad guys or whoever it is in the story to love them. So I was remembering that, and then as I wrote in Ed's point of view, um, I started to almost feel like Ed was coming through me.
Mhm.
And I thought it was really interesting because it was like I could see where what his thinking was like and how he struggled so much with his own behavior and that realized how complicated he was. And so then I don't know if the word would be enjoy, but I liked how it was just flowing through me and I wasn't having a judgment about him so much.
So Celia certainly grows during the course of the novel. Her arc is very clear. Do you see Ed having an arc as well?
I believe that in his some of the interior monologue with Ed, that he is really questioning his behavior and taking some responsibility, thinking that he is really the cause of his daughter behaving the way she behaves. And he feels bad about that and he wants to transform. Of course, he wants to transform because he wants to get into heaven, so to speak. But so that's one of his motivations. But I think he truly, on a deep, deep level, feels bad about his behavior.
Okay.
He does transform.
Yeah, yeah. Throughout the book, Celia grows, as we just talked about, and she pulls on some really heavy duty strength. What do you see as Celia's greatest strength, and how did she use it to make these shifts?
I was really thinking about that question a lot because I was thinking, what is her strength? I mean, she loves to dance, so she's this person that is wants to put herself out in the world and claim that as okay and good for her. But I also thought that she's independent and she goes after what she wants, but she has a big heart. She has, she loves her mom, she loves her sister, and she has good friends who she loves. So I think there's a quality about Celia that she's very loving and even though there's some ways that she's handled her relationships that we would question, I guess, but she does love people.
Do you think that love for people translates and comes to loving herself as well?
I think she is learning to love herself, although um yeah, I think that she wants to make things better for herself to take her past and fix it. So if she can fix it, and she wants Star back.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, she does want that, but in a way, she does that is something that um, well, I don't know. I don't want to give away the story.
Yeah, don't give us spoiler alerts. It's so hard to do because you want to talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Star. Um, this is a paranormal tale. Basically, I would say paranormal literature, and it has a lot of surprising twists and interesting twists that you don't see coming as you're reading, which is cool. Do you think that Celia could have made the changes in her life without that otherworldly assistance?
Well, I also thought about that question quite a bit. Is no, I think that she needed that. I think she needed that assistance because she didn't really have anybody assisting her. She wasn't really revealing everything to her friends and close people that are close to her. So she didn't really have an outward physical assistant, um, caring person. Although Raven was pretty close, but um, I think she relied on that. She relied on that otherworldly information that was coming in for her,
Mhm.
and I think that definitely that this other character's Star is um, motivates change.
Mhm. So this question I didn't ask you earlier, but will ask you now. When readers finish this book, when they turn that last page, how do you hope they will feel?
A good question. Um, well, I hope they feel like there is more to life than meets the eye, and that maybe they'll draw on Celia's strength to make changes in her life and to heal, so that maybe they'll have some ideas about how they might heal. They're carrying some sort of story that they've been keeping secret, and yes, maybe that they'll feel like their heart is opened up to something they hadn't opened up to before.
Lovely. That's very, very nice. I had the reason I asked that, my publisher from Crystal Lake Publishing, he is fond of asking his authors that very question. How do you want someone to feel when they finish reading your novel? And for this last novel that I wrote, I don't know where it is right now, but I he asked me that and I just said, I want them to feel sad, you know. And he goes, okay, okay, because it's dark literature. And it's interesting because when you say that, that's how I felt when I finished your book.
Okay.
Kind of inspired, what else is there? What else is out there? What can I forgive myself for? How can I move forward? Those sorts of things. And so that's a good sign that it's working. It will. Yeah, yeah,
That's great.
yeah. So I was wondering if you could tell us, this is certainly, when we just talked about this, an inspirational book. And can you give some advice? Most of the viewers on this channel are either readers of dark fiction or writers of dark fiction, and particularly people who want to write about very powerful but deeply flawed women. Do you have any any tips or things that you might pass on to our viewers that will help them as they write about their deeply flawed but powerful women characters?
One thing that I do in all my writing is draw on my own emotional, I could say baggage, but I've really done a lot of healing myself. So I know, but I know what the steps are to become to heal my life. So I think that the characters, they ultimately want to heal their life. So if the writer is really drawing on some of their own pain, and that, because then they understand the character's pain. So to really do that, and then if, who doesn't have something in their life that has been wrong and wrong, they've been wronged in some way, that they can draw on that. That'd be one thing I would suggest. The other thing I suggest is to, what Natalie always said is, go for the jugular, which she always means when she says that write the dark stuff, write it as dark as, as it is, be truthful in your writing. And even if it's scary, write it anyway. And I really live by that in my own writing, is that if I have a story to tell, I want to get to the bottom, every little scrap at the bottom or crumb or whatever it is down there, and write it. Robert Olin Butler, he says, go for the white hot. And I like that too, that although I think jugular, I can understand a little bit better. I'm not sure what the white hot is, but I do get it, that if it's something you don't want to do, you don't want to write about. And even though you're writing a story about a character who has a dark story, if there's a little bit of you that does not want to go into the darkest places, go there anyway, because you can always take it back a little bit, but just go ahead and go for
it. That's excellent advice. Yeah. Go for the jugular. Just write the dark.
Write the dark.
Yeah. So Nancy, I know that you have a lot of books out there. You have a lot of art out there. It's pretty amazing. It's fantastic. What are you working on right now?
So I'm working on a book that's, when I was 33 years old, I moved into a house at 733 East 33rd, and I thought that meant something. And it turned out it did, because the house was haunted.
Oh, cool.
And then it was not long into my living there that my brother passed away. And then he came as a ghost or specter, or he came, and my daughter and I were watching TV, and Hogan's Heroes, and then behind the TV he kind of like moved across the room.
Wow.
And then it scared my daughter a lot. It didn't scare me because I was pretty used to that kind of thing. And so it's really a story about me becoming acquainted with being a psychic person, and having clairaudience and clairsentience, and learning about that.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a good story. It'll have a lot of ghost stories in it. I had the ghost that was haunting the house when I moved in smoke cigarettes, and I would smell fresh cigarette smoke when I'd open like a cupboard or something.
What do you have a title for your new book?
I haven't decided totally what the title is. I've named it like 33, just as a working title. But I'm not positive of the finished title.
Okay. Yeah, titles are hard, aren't they?
Yes, because I really want it to be like Celia's Heaven, that I want it to be right.
Yeah. All right. Nancy, is there anything else that you would like to share with the viewers of Her Poison Pen?
Well, I thought I might just mention that I've been studying a mediumship. So in a way, the character in the book, Celia, she is talking to people who are a person who's on the other side, and drawing on healing drawing healing from that relationship as she's going through her life, this period of time in her life. And I have been, since I was a child, knowing that there's people on the other side who talk to me. I wasn't raised with my biological family, and I think it was actually people from my biological family that were talking to me. And whoops, can't see you now. Something happened here.
I can still see you.
Oh, okay, good. Something covered my face for a minute. Anyway, I'm studying mediumship, and I'm really loving it. And I've talked to my brother who passed when he was 37, I was 33, and I've talked to my stepdad who I didn't have a good relationship with, and that seemed to resolve. So it's been it's been very healing to be able to talk to those people.
And that informs your writing as well.
Definitely. I have another book that a series of books that where the character she works with a shaman, and she does a lot of talking to spirits and not always the kind that I would be talking to, but it's very, yeah, I'm kind of wired that way, I guess.
Fantastic. Okay, you know what I'm going to do is put your information in the comment section where people can buy your books and can reach you at whatever. Do you have a website?
www.nancycanyon.com.
Okay, we'll put that on there. And this has been great. I really enjoyed seeing you again and talking about Celia's Heaven. Let me show the cover of this beautiful book again. I love this
I
book.
love the cover.
Yeah, I do too. And I have another copy that is well worn. This is my show copy, right? I have a one that's all battered up, and has sticky notes in it and is all bent, but this is my one that you show off on the bookshelf. So love this go. Thank you so much for coming to Her Poison Pen this morning and this beautiful full moon. And I wish you all the best with your new projects.
Thank you, Jessica. It's really been lovely being with you.
Wow. Ghosts, spirits, exotic dancers, scary minister fathers. What a book. And what an adventure with Nancy Canyon. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Her Poison Pen. And now I'm excited to go to my desk and do what you're going to do, put words on paper and stay witchy.